fired your arrow at force field, you electrified the nation. There have been riots and
Hello and welcome to the Babbles Travelling Yarns podcast. I am your host, Grace. You can find me as Vanna Willamille on all the places, on Instagram, I'm actually on Facebook as well, but I'm under Babbles Yarns, which is my new indie dyeing business. And also as Babbles Travelling at babblestravellingyarns.com, where you can sign up to be on the mailing list for knitting retreats that I'm running in Ireland. There's only one available at the moment and it is sold out. This is the tester one, and it is hopefully going to be a bi-annual knitting retreat. So if you are interested at all in coming to Ireland and spending some time with me and some other amazing Irish people, and also for the normal Irish people that want to come on knitting retreats. It's being held in Tipperary at the moment currently, and yeah, so I'm really excited. It's coming up, the first one's coming up in April, but if you want to be kept informed of future retreats, sign up over on the website. Links are down in the doobly-doos. I am Vanna Willamille on Ravelry and Instagram. Instagram is where you'll find me most. I'm also Babbles Yarns on Instagram. And you'll also find me on the newly named International Virtual Knit Nights, which has used to be Babbles VKNs, Babbles Virtual Knit Nights, but I have handed over the baton to some wonderful VKNers that have run with it. So yeah, you'll find me over there on Tuesday evenings and Saturday evenings, where I pop in from time to time to say hello to everybody because I love y'all. I'm also, gosh, there's so much admin now, but I'm also running a bi-monthly physical knit night in Limerick City. If anyone is in Limerick, it is in or around Limerick City. It's in the Castro Park Hotel at 7 p.m. on the first Wednesday and the third Thursday of every month. And I have actually organised all the dates on the Facebook group, which is Limerick Knit and Spin, and on meetup.com as well. So if anyone is local and wants to say hello, come on and show me your program, your stuff, or learn about things. We're big about learning. We've got people who show up with spinning wheels and spindles and knit and crochet, and I brought my little loom the other day, which was super exciting and super lovely. And yeah, it was great to show people that. So yeah, it's kind of loosely affiliated with the Irish Guild of Weavers, Spinners and Dyers. Irish Guild of Weavers, Spinners and Dyers, like very loosely, because I am a member and there's a few of us that are members. And yeah, they are advertising it on their website, on their Facebook group as well. So thanks, especially to Nadia of the Cottage Notebook podcast, audio podcast, because she's been brilliant. She's been a really nice supporter of that, because she's very good at organising events all around the country, or at least publicising them on the group, on the Guild website on Facebook. Is that all my admin? I had a whole load of admin. No, I have sent away all of the parcels, all of the giveaway winners from the Instagram giveaway that I did, and also the Outlander cowl. So that was wonderful. Such a relief to get everything posted out. And yeah, let's get right into it, shall we? So let me find my notes because my screen has gone dead. Oh, that's so useful. I hate it. I'm just telling you my password there. That sounds handy. So I got a funny sore throat. Oh, tea. That solves the problem. This is going to be perfect. It's like I planned it. I kind of did. So I am drinking a cup of tea out of my wonderful, it's kind of blowing out there, Remembrances pottery mug. This is a hot way to hold that mug. Don't do that. That's why it has a handle. Oh, the handle is so perfect. So, look at the little, oh, isn't it the cutest thing? So I got sent this amazing mug from Natalie. Oh my gosh, I was in my head, I was like, don't say Natasha, don't say Natasha, that is not her name. Why do you want to say Natasha? I'm telling you, names are ridiculously hilarious. Anyway, oh my god, Natalie. I wanted to do it again. So Natalie of Remembrances Pottery, we did a little swap. I sent her some yarn and she sent me a beautiful mug with a load of like little like bits and bobs with it. There was some like little porcelain ornaments. One was of a sock and one was of skeins, and she sent me little maple candy sweeties, and it was just wonderful. And I've been drinking non-stop from this mug because this is my favourite mug. It's a lovely large size. It's lovely and thin to drink out of. The handle is comfy, and it's just like these are her fingerprints here, like, you know, it's like I'm holding hands with friends. This is actually roasting. The tea is actually also from a friend, a fantastic, amazing friend called Gwen, who's Gwen Bhushan on Instagram, and she sent me this wonderful tea which smells amazing. It's Compton's Comptoir Richard, probably Richard, Paris. It's black tea, red fruit black tea. So good. And she sent me this because she was sending me back a parcel. So I put out a call for people who would be interested in doing some sample knits with my yarn for shows, so I could bring them around and show people what you could make out of it. And I think I really want to make a doodler out of my yarn, and I've also seen an amazing pattern by my friend Hannah, who's also doing some socks for me actually, but she's doing this amazing, I can't remember the name of it, damn it, but lovely shawls, you know, with super contrasty colours. Absolutely beautiful. But this one is really special because it is a pattern that I really wanted to knit, but I just didn't have the time, and Gwen is amazing and she's just wonderful. So she knit me the Sorrento shawl by Marcia Ibuki. It's beautiful. I love these. I sent away these colours going, they go together, you know. So the first one is my Old Town colorway, which is kind of like this terracotta, and it reminds me of the rooftops in Dubrovnik in Croatia. And it was actually the set of Game of Thrones, the Red Keep, or King's Landing in the Red Keep, and it's just this kind of really kind of terracotta-y type color, and that was just I just love that color. And then this one here is my Aura colorway. So this is, it was originally called Vintage Earth, and it was based on an image of an old clock, like a brass and aqua globe. It was really, really beautiful. I fell in love with the colours. So I dyed up this skein in like inspiration for it, and then everyone said, these are your colours, this is actually your aura, this is what your aura looks like. So I was like, yay, yes, of course it is. And then this beautiful green is of course fern, and it's inspired by my trip to New Zealand. My sister is currently in Auckland. Hi Siobhan, if you watch. I don't know if you do, but I thought I'd say hi at the start just in case you got bored. But yeah, so it's inspired by my trip to New Zealand and Waiheke Island, and so the fern is like the national plant, like the shamrock is the Irish plant. Did you know the leek is the Welsh plant, and the thistle is the Scottish plant? And then isn't that the rose? Is that the Tudor rose? I'm not sure what the English colour or plant is. I'm sure there's a bit of, I'm not sure. Let me know. What is the English like plant? I'm thinking a rose, right? Or is there a thing with the Tudors? I know there was a big thing there. We had to learn it in school. I don't know. It wasn't our history. Whatever. But I suppose it was at the time. Me. So yeah, this is the Sorrento shawl by Marcia Ibuki, who is of the Fairy Little podcast. I love this lace down the bottom, and she knit it so fast. She knit it in like less than a month and a half or something, and she said it just knit itself. It was just a beautiful pattern to knit. So thank you so much, Gwen. I really, really appreciate. I love it so much. I need to photograph it and put it on my Babbles Yarns Instagram page. Oh, it's the prettiest. It's so cozy as well. I have been wearing it a little bit. I feel like I shouldn't be wearing it, because, you know, it's a sample, but it's so cozy and it's so comfy and nice. And I mean, it doesn't quite go with these blues. This is a bit mad color, but I think it does suit my actual coloring as well, with the browns and the greens. Pretty. Oh, thank you so much. Okay, stop wearing it now. It's for sample. It's a sample for the shop. And yeah, I'm sending her out some yarn that I dyed up, especially for her, next week. So yay, Gwen, thank you so much. Yee! I love samples. They're the best. And I've got some other wonderful people knitting me up some shawls and some socks. What I want to do is I want to knit single socks, or I want to get single socks knit and do like a garland across the booth. Because, hey, guys, I can't believe I keep not saying, I think I'm just embarrassed and a little bit terrified, but I'm vending at Woolen, which is Ireland's first dedicated yarn, no, that's not true, Republic of Ireland's first dedicated knitting show, well, kind of wool fibre show. So it's like, I'm sure there's going to be like spinning and weaving, or I hope it's going to be weaving. I think there will be. It's mainly knitting. I think there's some crochet going on as well. The classes are amazing. I am so excited and I'm vending. I am terrified and really excited, and mostly terrified right now. So yeah, I need to get my butt in gear and get my stall organized. I have vended before, but only at small little like craft markets or like weekend Saturday markets, and it was for my art back in the day when I was painting and trying to get rid of all my stuff that was cluttering up my house, my mum's house. And yeah, so I love doing fairs. I love talking to people. I think this is going to be a really busy one. And I really would love to see you all there. I mean, not all of you obviously can come because some of you are in the other side of the world, which is a bummer, but it is going to be an epic situation. Okay, they've got some incredible people coming. They've got Nancy Marchant, they've got Justina Lukowska, they've got Woolly Wormhead. So fascinating. I'm sure there might be some classes still left over. I haven't checked because I've just been deliberately not checking because I really want to be there for my stall and I didn't want to have to leave it for like 3 hours to go. Like the classes are like a solid 3-hour class, you know, you get your money's worth, because, you know, sometimes you're like, oh, how much can I learn in like an hour or so, you know, and it's a good, oh, the Sockmentician's coming as well, I think. But I'll be seeing him anyway. I've got a personalized week-long class with the Sockmentician, not really, but we're going to Rhodes, the Greek retreat as well, like the day that we finish at Woolen. So Woolen takes place by Dublin Airport, so you can actually fly in for the day and fly out. You don't even have to like stay in Dublin, although you should because it's awesome. But what is Beans doing? Beans, what's wrong with you? He's a crock of nonsense at the moment. Anyway, I love it so much. So yeah, what we're doing, we're going to drive up with all of my stuff. I'm going to bring a tablecloth. Who was I talking to? So I was talking to Liz of Trey Liz, who's a Greek indie dyer. Amazing. She's done a million shows this year. She's so nice. And I was asking her loads of advice about like what to bring and stuff. And she was like, put a tablecloth in your car right now because you will 100% forget it. I was like, good thinking. So yeah. Just simple things like that. I mean, it's if anyone else has any advice for vending at shows, I am bringing friends, or I am bringing my boyfriend, and I have had friends who will say, we'll stop by and give you a break. My friend Liz is applying to volunteer at the show as well, and yeah, she says she'll stop by if she's not busy and give me a little break as well, which is so awesome. I know to bring like tea and stuff, but like things like for demonstrating, like what's the best thing to show off the yarn. I want to get like some nice boxes so I can like pile them high, and they can also be used to transport them and things like that. I'll be fine. It's in May. It's still ages away. It'll ramp up so fast, won't it? No, it'll be fine. So I'm really excited about that, and I hope you'll be able to come and see me, and even if you don't buy anything, no pressure. But I would just love to see you and talk to you and chat to you because it's going to be so much fun. And of course there's going to be stuff on like the Friday night, and then on the Saturday night we are flying out to Greece, to Rhodes, because yeah, that is the Beardychiels Rhodes knitting retreat. So I'm flying out on the Saturday night and we're getting into Rhodes on early Sunday morning because we'll be wrecked. But to be honest, I mean, it's a week holiday by a pool with loads of knitty friends, including Skein and the Sockmaticians coming. And I'm so excited. I keep talking about it. Okay, let's get on to the knitting, shall we? Oh, except the drink. I need a drink now. Oh, that's nice. Okay. Now, oh gosh, where do I start? No, I'll start at the thing that I said I was going to start at. What am I wearing? If anyone is new, this is a jumper that I knit in a long time ago now. Where's that fluff? It wasn't a long time ago. I think I finished it in October this year. This is a design by me. I designed it. I designed it at a course for that was given by Anna Maltz, the sweater spotter on Instagram, and she's also a contributing author to Pom Pom magazine, Pom Pom Quarterly, and I took her amazing class, Whip It from the Top Down, and she actually just finished the jumper that she was teaching us on, so I'm really excited about that. It took her 2 years to finish the jumper, so anyone who is like in the middle of a jumper and it's taking forever, we all do it, okay? Even the professionals. So this one took me a year to do because I started in October 2016 and I knit about this far on it and then left it for 9 months, and then I finished it off in about a month and a half maybe after that, and I love it. The first part, that all the colour work is knit out of Morrison's, which is an Australian brand because I was in Australia at the time, if you don't know. Morrison Sons A-ply estate, which is like a DK. And then the bottom part is a New Zealand yarn from Briar Patch Yarns. This was in their Perrendale, 100% Perrendale wool. Sea glass? No, Bay of Islands colourway. And then a little bit of Morrison Sons at the end, my little Lumiere. I called this my Beauty and the Beast sweater because of the tall mullion windows of the library, and then this is a little rose detail there, which I meant to go back in ages ago and like pick out the little pink bits, but nah, I didn't mind. And then there's some flowers of the roses again, some leaves, and some of the windows again, some little details. And classic mistake, because not one of us is perfect, and this is a sign of it, and that's fine. I was talking with Rena of the Slow Knitter podcast, and we were talking about, like, you know, mistakes in our work and stuff, and I'm just like, you know what, in the old days when they were making tapestries, they used to make deliberate mistakes because no one is perfect except for God. I don't, of course, you know, I'm not really religious, even though I was born Catholic, so it's in my blood. But I'm not religious at all anymore. But I like the idea that we're only human, and it's a reminder of that, and it's important to remember and give ourselves a break. Okay, everybody? Give yourself a break. Be nice to yourself. So yeah, this one's just here. And it just goes, actually it's hilarious. This is under the hearts that I put in there because the pattern didn't quite match the number of stitches I had on there. So, you know, my heart, symbol of how many times it's been broken. I can't remember. Anyway, too many times. So yeah, that's what I'm wearing. Gosh, that was long. Now, so I'm wearing it at the moment because it's really cold outside, even though it's lovely and bright. I just spent the morning having some brunch with some girls from work, Mary Kate, Elaine and Jane. Hi! They're the girls that I'm always giving, well, actually Mary Kate's always the one that I'm that watches the show. I don't know why you watch it, Mary Kate, because you see my face in work all the time. You're so cute, you're adorbs, I love you so much. Whips. Shall we do some whips? Right, I have been working on 2. I will show you the first one. Numero uno is my test knit for Mina. So this is my test knit for Mina Phillip, the knitting expat, and I've got so far. Yes, I had a plan to get 10 inches of the body done from where I was this week. I've managed 5 inches. I think that's good. But I want to get onto the sleeves next week because I know sleeves take forever, and then there's the button band. So I have to be finished this by the end of January. What are we on right now? The 6th. I can do it! So this is my mix and match sweater. So it's a test knit by Mina. She released the pattern for little babies, and I've no idea where it's gone now. Oh, there it is. So it does come out originally in this texture design, but because it is a mix and match sweater, you can kind of do whatever you want. There are so many options in this sweater. It is fantastic. So there's little Layla, and that's the pattern that you have, you can do it on originally. So this, she doesn't have a pattern for the finished object yet. She hasn't done the photographs for that, so that's why Layla's on the front. But this is the adult mix and match sweater. And it's actually a cardigan. Sorry, yeah, it's a cardigan. She's decided just to leave it as a cardigan, which I love. I really need a cardigan. So it's a raglan, top down raglan, and I dyed the yarn because I wanted to do an ombre kind of fade with the one color. I kind of really want to do a blue tealy one too, but I might just dye the yarn. I might do kits in the shop when the pattern's released. That might be an interesting idea. So at the moment it's at like a small, it's at like, you know, the Timely cardigan by Trudy Myrtle, it's at that kind of that kind of length. So for a small little person this would be lovely, but I've got another 10-15 inches to go, and I am on my second last color. So I faded quite quickly actually. Oh, and now the yarn is caught in my wheel. Ugh. So this is the color I'm on at the moment. I have 2 more to go. This way, this one, and then this one. So I finish with that darkest color. Oh, it's so nice, so pretty. This is super accurate colors. How is this happening? Amazing. So this is actually the color of my uniform, so it's actually going to be a really nice cardigan for me when I'm working in nights because it's going to match my uniform. So that's nice, and it's like when it's cold inside and work. So at the moment I seem to be using it kind of varies actually. The changes I'm doing, I'm kind of doing however I feel like, really. So the top part used the most of this skein, which is fine because the top part includes the shoulders, so you are not really going to be using that again in the sleeves because I've switched here, you see. So that's how much I have left from the first color. Then I have this much left. There's got to be a better way to show this. I don't know it. So then there's this color here, which is in the middle. So I only probably did about 3 inches there. So what I did was I did 1 color across, and then I went back and I did 2 colors of the, so I did 1 color of the new color, then I did 2 colors of the old, 2 colors of the new, and then 2 colors old, and then I went straight for, you know, 5 or 6 or 10 rows. It's up to yourself really how slowly you want to fade it, but I really kind of liked the fade as it went. So I did the 1 big one, and then 2, and then 2, and then 2, and then solid. So that's the fading sequence that I chose to do. And the next color I had this much left. The next color I had this much left. So I started I don't know, I think I went quite quick transitions in the last one. And I know in one of these the ball actually broke on me, so I know one of these balls I didn't use at all. So I think it went like that. Yeah. And then there. So yeah, it's kind of, there is enough yarn. I actually dyed, how many did I dye? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, Did I say 7? 8. I dyed 8 skeins. So 800-gram skeins in Aran weight yarn is what I did. I need to write all this up if I'm going to be selling kits about how much I used and percentages and stuff and how much to leave back for the sleeves, because you do need to leave back a little bit, but to be honest there will be plenty. And then I also want to have a little bit, I'm not sure what I'm going to do for the button band and the shawl collar. I think I'll do a kind of a, I might just see how much is left of each colour and I might just do one stripe and then finish off with a dark band around there. But is that too comfort fade cardi? I'm not sure. I don't intend to I'm not copying it, but obviously that is something I really wanted to do, but I also really wanted to test Mina's design for her. So it's all Mina's design really. So it's so pretty and it's ombre, it's not speckled, which is like, I don't want to copy or infringe on anybody's thing. But you know, it's inspiration, isn't it? So yeah, so I am loving the darker colors now, and it's actually making the body go so fast because I'm switching yarns, which is nice. Okay, so I think I'm a genius. So this way, of course, I'm adding in a lot more you know, ends to weave in, you know. So I decided to try my best at trying to weave them in as I go, and sometimes I knit them. So sometimes I knit them in at the same time. So you see that end there, that's been knit in. And you can you see where it is? Just here, this little bit there. It's really not obvious to me. Not that obvious at all. But then, right, so I had 2 ends. I kind of like this one as well, this version. So I had 2 ends to weave in. Well, I had 1 end to weave in and I was starting with another colour, you know. So I decided they're both very similar colours. I am going to do a bit of colour work. So you see here, I just did one colour, knit one colour, knit the other colour, you know. So I just carry the float back on the back, and this is the front. And I suppose you can see it maybe a little bit clearer, you know, especially if the colours are different. But if the colours are the same, job done, right? So I'm just, all I need to do is just weave that in, and maybe like just weave it in some way. And maybe that might not be as bulky. I mean, I know there's slightly different colours, but if you were doing a garment in the same colour yarn, I think that would be a way to weave in the ends. But I suppose you still have that loose stitch. I don't know, it's an idea. You know, there's only that kind of large stitch there. I think it blends really nicely. I don't know, it's an idea. I'm doing some adventuring with weaving in ends and trying to get it right. So so when I said that I was going to do the 10 inches, I was here. So I've managed to do about 5, and I'd like to do another 10 before next week. I'd like to get onto the sleeves at the end next week. That would be my dream. But I do want to do the back longer than the front, and that's an option in the pattern. There's an option to dip the hem. I think there's also an option to, let me check before I say in case I'm totally wrong. Hem of the sweater. Yeah, so you can do a regular straight hem or a curved hem. So nice. I love having options. And you know what? Like, this pattern covers all garments. Not really all, but this, you could make a number of loads of different patterns in this one pattern. It's like a sewing pattern, you know, where they have loads of different options, you know, to make short sleeved or long sleeved or make a shirt into a dress or whatever. This is kind of like, you know, that sort of pattern. And of course, Mina's patterns are always so well written. I've had no problems at all with anything. Sorry, I don't think you can read anything, but yeah. So I'm loving it. Yeah, and so she gives you, like, there's a stockinette pattern that she sent me. I didn't print it out because it was pretty simple to understand it. And yeah, so there's a couple of options for the neckband. There's a flat neckband, and you know what? She's actually done a couple, like, so each page you only have to print out the page that you want of the pattern that you want. So if you want, you know, if you want the neckband, the flat neckband, you just knit out that page. You just knit out pattern like page 12 or whatever. And if you want the shawl collar, you just print out the other page. It's just such a nicely laid out pattern as well. I'm loving it. She has a fantastic schematic. Fabulous. So good. So good. Thank you so much for letting me test it, Mina. I'm loving it. And it knits up so quick as well because it's iron weight yarn. The pattern is designed for, I actually gauged on the needles that she recommended on iron weight yarn, and I got exact gauge, but everyone's gauge is different. You should always swatch. You hear me? Yes, you in the back. Swatch. You have only yourself to blame. So yeah. So this is, I'm going to enter this in the year of the garment, and then who else is doing garments? There's another garment knit along, which Lady I Watch. Can't remember. Oh my God. There are so many garment cows at the moment. Anyway, there's also my cow, which has just started on the 1st of January. It is called the Epic Along. Now, a lot of people are knitting garments for their partners. A lot of people are knitting garments for themselves. A lot of people are knitting things that they wanted to tackle, big projects, you know, like epic projects. You know the ones I'm talking about, not socks or not hats or gloves or anything like that. Epic projects. One girl is knitting a Shetland lace shawl. Another woman is spinning all of her wool for her garment. She's doing like a from sheep to sweater project. Amazing. I have decided to finally cast on my Nahanni River vest. Now, my Nahanni River vest is a project that I bought on a whim in my mad spending spree at Edinburgh Yarn Festival. And I was buying stuff because I felt guilty that I had bought all this stuff for myself and James had put up with me, blah, 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 blah. I bought this for James. James was talking about me making him a Dougal vest. Now, if anyone's watched Father Ted, you might understand the Dougal vest, which is like a kind of a sort of ugly Fair Isle vest that priests wear. And he really wanted one. I was like, and then he found this book of Cafe Facet designs, and not gonna lie, I detested every single color choice that was in that book. Very 80s. And the patterns were like mad and like big, bold, like windows, and just super asymmetric 80s. Lots of browns. Not a fan. I do understand the amazing contribution that Cafe Facet did give to the knitting community, and that's amazing. Not my taste. And I said, absolutely hell no, I will make you something that is pretty in my book. So I bought this. So it was the Nahanni River Vest kit by from Simply Shetland, and I bought the whole kit. I bought all the yarn. I think I'm going to need some more yarn. This guy, like the size of him, he looks pretty small. I'm sure he looks lovely, you know. But yeah, James is 6'7". He's actually 2 meters tall, exactly. I measured him from his underarm to where he wants the vest to lie, 21 inches. So I'm gonna need some more yarn, but I'll probably get it at Edinburgh because that's where I got this the last time. So that's fine. And the thing is with the Shetland and Jameson's of Shetland yarn, which is the yarn that I'm using, they are repeatable colorways. So yeah. So I'm using Jameson's of Shetland colorways, all of them that came with the kit. So there's Highland Mist, Dark Navy, Artichoke, Storm, Cosmos, Yell Sound Blue, Green Mist, Sky, Atlantic. Yeah, there's loads of colours, loads of them. I think there was like 12 or 15 balls came with the kit. They're 50 gram balls each. And this is how far I've got. I've already made a mistake. But I'm not ripping back because hell no. Ain't nobody got time for that. So this is the ribbing. I had to cast on a lot of stitches. And it's all the way around. All the time. And I'm scared. It's fine, it's fine, it's fine. So it's very skinny yarn. Skinny. Look at it. Skinny. It's like fingering weight. It's fingering weight yarn. This is how much I've done. There's over 300 stitches on each row. This has taken me 3 nights. Hence the epic along, right? Because I've given myself 6 months to a year to make this stuff, to make it. So if I even put on an inch a week, 21 inches, 21 weeks, I'll need more than that, more time than that. But once I get into the patterning, I think I'll be fine. If this is like knit purl, because it's corrugated rib, so the green is the knit and the blue is the purl. So it's gonna go faster once I get into the ferrule itself. And ferrule like flies for me because I love the patterns. So yeah, I'm excited. And I think it's gonna be big enough. I should really put it onto bigger needles right now and try it on him, like around him. Just to see if it fits. Because I don't want a sockmatician incident, okay? He bought the exact same pattern and his gauge changed halfway through the project. He had to rip out the whole thing. Heartbreaking. So yeah, it's in my basket. Beans loves this basket. He loves ripping it to shreds. So I have got to distract him while I'm knitting, aka get James to take him. He's adorable, really. Yeah, so yeah, that's Nahanni River. And they're the 2 projects that I'm working on at the moment. I've got a couple of others that I've not touched, so that's fine. Now, let's talk about my current obsession, which is weaving. I spoke about my last vest in this, at my last project, which was my hand spun gradient, which I did in the class that was run by the guild, the Weavers Guild, Weaver Spinners and Dyers Guild. It was run by Moira Naughton, really amazing weaver artist. She actually did like a degree in it, like a master's course in the textile division at the Dublin School of Art, I believe. I think that's what she was saying, but this has like softened up and it's just, I love wearing this so much. It was soft to begin with. There's silk in it, like it's BFL and silk. It's absolutely gorgeous. Love it. I've made 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I've made 5 scarves since. And it's been like 3 weeks. So yeah. Now, so my eventual idea is to make garments. So what I did was I warped up my skein of gradient yarn that I had dyed, and I did 1 scarf in this lighter, and then I did another scarf in the darker one, and I sewed them together. Now the problem is, newbie person here, I did a kind of a tight, I was learning, the different, thicknesses between here are kind of different. So I wanted the colors to show out more in this darker one. So I don't know if you'll be able to see this, but I'm just going to take the light off and show you from the back. So if you see how open and loose that is, and then see the difference down here. I don't know if you can see the difference. I mean, it's light anyway, but just you can see. So yes, I am going to make something out of it. The problem as well is that the warps weren't the same length. So when I was sewing them together, one stopped earlier than the other. So I need to rip the center stitch out. It was just hand stitch, just top stitch, and just kind of line them up so I've got equal on either side, equal missing on either side. And then what I want to do is throw it over me and cut it in the center, sew up the back, and then sew under the arms, and I'll have a little kind of a vesty thing. I've been learning a lot about making garments with your hand spun, because that's my general idea, but there isn't that much out there. I have bought a little pamphlet on Etsy from a lady called Sarah Howard, and her Etsy shop is Get Weaving, and she has patterns on there about making garments with your handspun, and they look really, really nice. So I'm going to give that a go. I've also decided to start taking sewing classes. I'm taking a 6-week sewing class in Caherdavan in Rebecca Palmer Designs, with Rebecca Palmer Designs. She's on Facebook. If anyone's in Limerick, she's starting a course in the middle of January. First, I think it's like Monday, the 3rd Monday of January. And I'm starting there, and I'm just going to bring my machine. I'm going to learn really how to sew from scratch. And my mum said she would teach me, but I think it'd be good learning from somebody else as well as mum, because mum really doesn't have that much time. I think she would like to teach me, but I think I would also like to learn from somebody else as well. I love my mummy. Mummy, if you're watching this, I'm not like, I can learn from you as well. Ah! So yeah, I'm really excited. I'm going to bring my stuff out, and I'm going to learn how to sew with my hand spun, because I'm really nervous about cutting into it. There are ways. And Sarah Howard, I bought a little bundle about how to cut into your hand spun. I know it involves bondo web and sewing up either side of where you're going to cut. Yeah, and then kind of hemming it, hem stitching it, turning it over and hemming it. So yeah, I'm really excited to learn, because that's really what I want to do with my weaving. I have bit the bullet and bought an actual weaving loom too. I bought a 16-inch sample it Ashford rigid heddle loom. It's super affordable. I bought a second heddle to go with it. You can do a lot with it, and I am not at the stage financially or space-wise to buy a floor loom. I just can't. And to be honest, I don't know if I would sit at it and do it, because okay, I'll show you my rigid heddle that I will. I'll show you my rigid heddle loom. And this is just like what I'm doing on it right now. I'm just after finishing it actually, and I just need to hem stitch. I just need to hem stitch it and cut it off the loom. So this is the little loom that I've got, and it is super portable. I can take it out of my craft room, I can bring it into the kitchen with me, I can bring it in the car with me if I need to like wait somewhere, bring it into, like, you know, it doesn't have to be just me sitting in my kitchen, in my sitting room, like with it all set up. If you can't take it with you, you know, I don't think I would use it. And that's what a lot of people, because I've been reading the boards on Ravelry about the rigid heddle loom and the knitter's loom and all the different looms and stuff, and the rigid heddle group seems to be just people saying I weave way more with my rigid heddle because I can take it around with me because it's so portable. My rigid heddle is always warped. There's always something going on in it. I just churn out stuff from the rigid heddle way more than I do the floor loom, because I rarely get to sit at my floor loom, whereas I'm always going somewhere, dropping someone off, or, you know, like, you could take this camping with you, you know, in your car. You could, like, it's so handy. So this is an Ashford rigid heddle loom. There's also a, what's it called? A Schacht. I think there's a Schacht rigid heddle. There's also the Cricket. I don't know if that is actually Schacht as well. But It's so great. It's so portable. It's so light. Doesn't take up that much room. You can put it away in a bag, you know? Handy out. So yeah, I'm loving it. And with the next one I get, this is the 10-inch. I'm going to get the 16-inch, which is going to be about here. So you're going to be able to get wider fabrics. But also, I'm going to learn how to do a double width fabric. And I looked it up on YouTube, and it's actually pretty simple-ish. You get 2 heddles. This is a heddle. Let's give him my ear funny. So this is a heddle, and there are positions. Everything's gone wrong. There are 2 positions. I'll just bring that down for a minute. So there's a position for the heddle just there. How do I do it again? So yeah, there's a position for a heddle there, and there's also a position for another heddle back here. And with 2 heddles you can do lots of different designs. You can put the yarns in different ways, and you can get lovely stuff out of it. You can also do something called pickup sticks. And pickup sticks, let me see, I'll just borrow, this is kind of like a fake pickup. It's just a piece of cardboard, which is like I bought some just nice ones that were rounded in wood and would be nice and secure. But pickup sticks would be basically picking up, you know, adding another layer to it. So I'm just picking up kind of every second one, but you know, you'd make designs and things out of it, and you turn it sideways so it makes another little shed, and you can go in there and do stuff, you know. So you can actually have a 4 you can actually have a 4 rigid heddle loom, a 4 thing, whatever, 4 reed, 4 shaft, yeah, 4 shaft, that's it, with pickup sticks and 2 heddles. 2 pickup sticks and 2 heddles, you can do that. So I'm really interested in learning how to do that. It suits my budget, it suits my time, it suits my life right now, and I'm super excited about it all. Yay! I'm also going to be ordering in some more wonderful hand spun linen, hand spun, not linen, sorry, nettle fabric from India, from a lady in India that I've been talking to. And yeah, so that's going to be in the springtime, and it's going to be in my shop as well. I'm also going to hopefully order in some cotton for weaving as well, if anyone's interested. It's just fabulous. I really want to weave some dishcloths now. I'm kind of like, yes, I'm learning. Oh yeah. So that's getting ahead of myself. That's all my plans. Let me show you a bit more about what I've been weaving though. So these are just plain weave. They're just boring old 200, you know, the only kind of fun thing about it is the warp was gradient. That's really, really cool. So those are the first couple of projects I did because I love gradients. Who doesn't? So I decided to look into some more patterns, just with simple weave, because that's all you can really do apart from the pickup sticks situation. I suppose I could do some pickup stick stuff, waiting for my other loom to arrive. I got a very dent reed, which is about 60 euros or 60 pounds just for the reed, but you can put in all the different sizes. So with this reed, sorry, I'm going back to the explaining it, but there's so much to learn, you guys. So this reed, it's a 7 DPI, I think that's what they call it. It's kind of dots per inch. It's kind of a 7 strands of yarn per inch. But this kind of only works for DK weight or fingering weight doubled, or Aran weight. If you want to do a finer fabric with like closer together reeds, you have to get like a 12 DPI. And if you want to do really bulky yarns, you go up to like a 5 or 4 DPI. But the Very Dent has everything. It has everything included. You can change out stuff, so you can do like the edges can be fingering weight and the center can be bulky, or the other way around. You know, you can alter it up and make really, really cool stuff. So I decided to get that because it gives you all the options in one thing. And also James said he would buy it for me as a Christmas present. Thanks, James. You're so nice. Thanks. Yeah. So yes. So I wanted to get more into just patterns and finding out what I could do. So I decided I had some yarn. I don't really have that much DK weight, you see. That's why I wanted to get the other reed, so I could try and use up my fingering weight stash. But I did have some DK weight from my Selby mittens. right? So I made these out of about 40 to 50 grams of the red and the white. So I still had 40 to 50 grams of the red and white because they were 100 grams gram skeins. So what did I do? I did some warping. Now, the red was so basically this is called a houndstooth design. That's beautiful, right? It's the most simple thing ever. When you're warping it, you warp it 2 red, 2 white, 2 red, 2 white, 2 red, 2 white, all the way down. That's all it is. It's just stripes. 2 red, 2 white, 2 red, 2 white, 2 red, 2 white. And then across the way on the weft, you go over and back with one colour, drop it, over and back with the other colour, drop it, over and back with... It's just 2 by 2. It's beautiful. And then I ran out of the white. And then I had to get another white that was in my stash. And this is there was a merino. I think actually, to be honest, I just did the warp in the white from the gloves, which is, oh, this is the Dalton Border Leicester yarn, by the way. Dalton Border Leicester or DK weight yarn. And it was wonderful, wonderful to weave with. They say don't weave with knitting yarns, whatever. Don't be stuck by rules. Who cares? Who cares about those people? Now, so, oh, look how lovely this fabric is though, you know, it's really soft. Oh, I love Dalton Border Leicester stuff. It's so beautiful. So the weft was Dalton Border Leicester, and then the warp was a merino, a Canadian merino that Scylla, hi Scylla, that Scylla got me, Scylla gave me as part, it was part of her Clark sweater, I think it was the Clark that she made out of it, but she had a skein left over and she just gave it to me. Thank you, because it's in this scarf. Then I ran out of the red, and then I did like a little, this is just with the white, and I quite like that actually. So that's what it looks like just with the white. There's so many options with pattern, and it's very repeatable and repetitive, and so fast, you guys. I can't get over how fast it is. So it's kind of the patterning and stuff, it's all about the warp. You know, you kind of have to plan it. And I have yet to figure out how to correctly do the old figuring out how much yarn you need business, because sometimes, like, I didn't have enough for that, but to be honest, I just substituted a white yarn for another white yarn and it worked out so pretty. So yeah. And the thing is, if you run out of the warp, if you run out of your yarn, say like halfway, and you still have all this warp, you can cut it and just make a cowl or something. You know, you'd still have plenty for a cowl. Woo! You know, and then just join it together. You know, sew it together. Say if I ran out there and I didn't want to do this, I could just do a cowl, just sew it together. The only thing is, you would have wasted all that yarn from the warp. So it's just kind of a learning curve, isn't it? So I've been wearing this a lot because it's super cold. But I am excited to get my wider one because the fabric is only this wide, which is fine for some scarves, but you know when it's super cold you want like a nice big scarf that's like really cozy, and you can like put it like this over your mouth and it kind of stays up there, you know, it kind of crinkles down there. That'd be nice. So yeah. And I can crank these out so fast, I'm actually thinking of selling them on my Etsy shop because they're so fast, you know. You're not, you know, when people say, oh, you should sell your knitting. No. That's all I have to say to that. But this is fast. You know what I mean? Like knitting a jumper takes forever. Like months. How could you do that? I made that scarf one night. Christmas Day I made this. And this was after I had actually worked the night before. This probably took about 4 hours. Like what? So fast. And I could actually sell them. So this one was another 4-hour situation. And this one is I was running out of DK weight and I wanted to try plaid, and I knew that, like, you know, I could use lots of different colors in it. However, I used different fabrics, different bases. So, and it's good that I did it because now I know not to do that. Well, it worked out fine. It worked out okay. And the colour is really, really beautiful. So this is a tartan. Basically, it's like a plaid tartan. And I carried the yarn all up the other side here. I think I know now how to do that a bit better because I've learned it on this one that I've just showed you on the loom itself. But yeah, it's all learning. So James saw this and he was like, "Can I have it? It's beautiful." And I was like, "Yes, of course you can." So I gave it to him and I photographed it and it's lovely. However, I don't know if you'll be able to see this, but the light blue, oh, excuse me, that's really loud. The light blue is actually kind of a tealy green, but it's acrylic. It's acrylic. The purple is kind of like a cottony, and then the white is a wool blend. And it's kind of bowing a little bit. You can't really see. To be honest, you can't tell. Only when you're looking at it. If you can see there, the way it's kind of bulging a little bit, it's just stretched out more than the wool has laid nice and still. I might try and block it. I might try and steam block it to kill the acrylic. But I think because it was under tension when I was doing it, the acrylic was more stretchy than the wool and the cotton. So I think it just stretched out, and that's why when it's relaxed, it's kind of doing this bulgy outy thing. I'll see if you can see that. It's kind of doing a bulgy outy thing here and a bulgy outy thing here, just where they both kind of, the squares kind of come together, and the fabric is just a little bit wobbledy, and it's all about the tension, you know, because some different fabrics have different yarns have different tensions and different stretchiness. But James loves it, so I don't care. And now I know, and it's just so pretty. I'm amazed that I made this. I made this in a day. I think it was even a night, like after work. I came home, warped it, wove it, done. Taking over my life. Yeah, and then just before knit night, I promised on the Facebook group that I would bring along my weaving, but it was empty, and I was like, crap, I hadn't warped it. So I warped it. I came home, made some dinner, had a cup of tea. At about 5:30, I sat down and I started to warp because I wanted to get it done for knit night, and I needed to leave for knit night at about 20 to 7 because knit night is from 7 till 9. So what was 5:30 to 6:30? Took me an hour to warp it. I have been using, let me see if I have the, I hope I have the thingies, maybe I don't. But it's called Coast yarn, and it's kind of like a cotton acrylic with lamb's, no, it's not cotton acrylic, sorry. I think it's linen and lamb's wool. I can't remember. Fatima sent it to me. But it's very fine. It's pretty much lace weight, a very fine fingering or a lace weight. So I decided to double it because the dent is made for a DK weight. So I doubled the warp and I doubled the weft. And I pulled it through each one. So I'm doing what's called a direct warping method. You should look it up on YouTube. It's a bit tricky to explain. It doesn't really make sense unless you've done it or have seen it done. You get a little hook basically, and you hook it through all of these things and you wrap it around something. I used the corner of my staircase, you know, the little knob thing on top, and just to wrap it around it as I was going. And then you pull it back and with tension, and then you cut all them and tie them on individually. Anyway, whatever. It took me about an hour to warp it. Not very long, guys, not very long. Probably about the same length of time as it took me to cast on 300 plus stitches for the other thing. Anyway, whatever. And yeah, and I wove it. I wove a good 3 foot when I was at knit night, 2 hours, 3 foot. And that was like talking to people and stopping, and I was showing someone how to make rolags on their spinning wheel, and you know, we're just talking about stuff. So kind of casual. And yeah, you can take it to knit night. You can take it with you in the car to knit night. Portable weaving, everybody. Love it. So I decided I was going to add in a yarn that I've had in my stash a long time, and it's kind of like a yellowy yarn, but I'm glad I took it to knit night, and I'm glad they talked me out of it, because this is stunning just on its own with these two colors. It's beautiful. So this is a gingham pattern, which is basically 10 light blue, 10 dark blue, 10 light blue, 10, and 5 up and 5 down, if you know what I mean. So when you pull it up, you have 5 strings up and 5 strings down, and then when you push it down, you have another shed. So you're pulling it up, you're creating that shed, you pop your shuttle through there, and then you push it down and you push it through there. So you're going up, down, up, down, up, down all the time. And then of course you do 10 of this color, 10 of that color, switch 10 of that, you know. I'm actually just finished now, so I just need to hem stitch this side here, but I need to stop pulling on this because it's funking up the edge there. I need to just adjust that. You can just put it up. It's super easy to unweave as well, so you just go back through. Easy. So yeah, so this is a gingham, and it's amazing how simple the patterns. It's kind of life-changing understanding how fabric is made, the patterns of fabric, like understanding knitting patterns, like understanding how garments are constructed. But now you're kind of getting into everyday fabrics and how they're constructed, and you can see it everywhere now. Like I'm seeing other people's scarves going, I know how that's made now, I can do that, you know. It's so addictive. And I'm sorry to anyone who is like, oh my god, another thing I have to get. You just saying, you don't have to get anything that I've got. You really don't. But it's really awesome. I just love it so much. I love all of this stuff. And can I just say how much my life has changed because of the podcast? That's super gushy and cheesy, but the podcast has made my life better in so many ways. My confidence in myself has been boosted, which needed it, to be honest. I have always had very low confidence in myself, and now I am totally fine with who I am. How that was impossible for me 2 years ago. Just impossible. You know, it's really hard. It's a really hard thing to get over, but this podcast has shown me that people are interested in what I'm doing. The people that comment, the people that talk to me about what I'm doing and like ask questions and encourage me to go on and do things, and you have no idea how much you've helped me just become myself, more myself. Okay, that's it. No more. No more gushing. I've said thank you now, and that's it. Honestly, thank you so much. Thank you. You saved my life. Not like in a, I was gonna do anything really dangerous. Thank God. I have not ever had those thoughts. Or I'm not gonna say that. I have once, but you know. But you have made my life better. You've made it a much better life than I would have had. So you've saved the interestingness of my life. And it's only going to get bigger, babes. Right. I was going to talk about something else. Hey, yeah! 2018, year of spinning apparently on Instagram. It's all over the shop. Have you been following We Make Yarn, the hashtag We Make Yarn? It's wonderful. It's so much fun. I've been doing it. I need to catch up. The last 2 days I haven't done. Oops. No, I'm only 1 day behind, 2 days behind because of today. Anyway, whatever. So every day I've decided to take part in We Make Yarn Challenge. The We Make Yarn Challenge is one of those, you know, those kind of picture a day you're inspired by a word or something. And it's fun. I love the intro ones because you find out more people, you can search them, you can follow them. It's just, it like expands your world if in like a particular area. So I've been following so many amazing spinners because I do need to get spinning again because I feel like spinning has kind of dropped out because I've been weaving. And knitting will always be there, just always. That's okay, no worries. But spinning kind of takes like a bit of a backseat sometimes. And in the run up to Christmas and stuff, I wasn't really spinning that much because I was weaving and I was knitting Christmas presents and things. In the summer, I was spinning a lot because my friend Liz and I were doing a lot of demonstrations, which was super fun. Excuse me, so sorry. Go away cold, I do not need it. So I finally finished a skein of beautiful yarn from a braid of yarn, a braid of fibre that was sent to me by Mon Sheep Shop, Cindy from Mon Sheep Shop. And I fractal spun this, which means that the first half of the braid, I split the braid in half and I spun one half straight off the top. So it was kind of long repeats of colour that came from the braid. And then in the second half, I split it all down into tiny little bits. So you would get really short repeats of colour and lots of them, kind of like self-striping yarn. So that's what I want to do with the next one. Actually, I've just decided I want to split it all down into tiny little repeats of colour and then do a 3-ply, and then I should get a self-striping yarn. Woo, fun! Yes, okay. So this is my fractal spun, and this was amazing, beautiful colours, don't you think? This was a really highly twisted skein. It's 100% French merino, I believe, or is it Rambouillet? I think it's French. No, oh gosh, I can't remember now. But it was super highly twisted. It was super frizzy, and there was kinks all over the place. This was twisting at least 6 times when I took it off the niddy noddy. Super twisty, but after washing it and thwacking it, which is this, when it's wet, and then leaving it to hang dry with a bit of a weight on the bottom, not too much of a weight because you don't want to lose the bounce, you know. This might have lost a little bit of bounce, but that's fine because I wanted the twist on it. And there's still a little bit of a twist, but it's much higher spun than I'm used to. This light that I've got on my phone picks up colours perfectly. What the fudge? I feel like it's a little bit like, you know, over flashy, but it's just really good for colour, and that's what I'm here for. So hey ho. Oh, it's so pretty. The prettiest. So I finished that, and then I found a sample of yarn that I'd spun at the Knitting and Stitching show in the Guild's booth when I was demonstrating there. And I was like, I can't just leave this here. So I bought this at one of the booths, but I think it's actually from John Arbon's mill. I think it's one of their tops that they sell. It's beautiful. And this was just a random, I did a 3-ply because I wanted kind of a chunky monkey cutesy pootsy yarn. Because I wasn't really paying attention at the Knitting and Stitching show, so it wasn't like, so it's more of kind of like an art yarn. There was nothing really serious going on here, but the colours! Very ultraviolet Pantone colour of the year, everybody, don't you think? Let's try and get a screenshot. Cute. So yeah, now I got, this is a 3-ply, and I got as far as I could on the 3-ply, and then I had 2 bobbins full, like 1 bobbin ran out and then there was 2 more bobbins, and I was like, I'll just do a 2-ply of the other stuff. So I've got a little sample of 3-ply and 2-ply, and the 2-ply is still sitting on my wheel. I need to get it off actually because I want to do that new fabulous idea that I just had. And it's going to be a 3-ply, so maybe I can make like socks out of it. Oh yeah, this is here. It's here. I don't know if it's going to work. It might. Oh, actually, it might. It might do really subtle stuff. So what color is this? What is this? This is Ellie and Ada, part of her fibre club. Ooh, you always get little treats as well. Nice, thanks. Thanks, Ellie. Actually, I don't think her name is Ellie. I think it's Laura. Laura. Yeah, thanks, Laura. So this is the September 2017 colour. It's Cheviot Wool Autumn Berries. Sorry, it's super bright. So Cheviot Autumn Berries. And it's so pretty. So yeah, I'm going to strip this braid down. Sounds dirty. I'm going to strip it down and try and get some sort of crazy 3-ply situation going on. I think it could be really cute if I spun super fine high twist singles. Wouldn't that be cute? Wouldn't it be nice if we could hold do, 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 do. So yeah. It's like my wool coat. My wool hood. I needed this morning. It was frosty. I walked up to the cafe. I know I've got a little beard going on. Now, so, oh yeah, I'm going to keep that out actually and do that when I get off. Oh, actually no, I need to do that. Oh, I have so much to do. I love it so much. So I'm really glad I got to film this podcast because it's kind of been hanging over me for a while. I'm like, I gotta do that podcast. It's been like 3 weeks. So yeah, I think, oh wait, I'll just check to see if I'm finished yet. Because I've got so much to, oh no, wait! I need to do some serious prize giveaways because I've had 2 wonderful friends of mine give me patterns to give away on the podcast. And I have to do it because I love them so much and I love the patterns that they come out with. They're so amazing. So first, I'm going to do a whole bundle of beautiful Yarnesty patterns. So they're sock patterns by Anna Freiberg. Freiberg? Sorry, Anna. So, let me just get their names and details. So, on my Ravelry group, I want you to pop over to my Ravelry group and post in the comments what is your favorite sock? Way of knitting a sock. Like a favorite heel you like to do, or toe up or toe down, or patterned or plain, or do you like to knit socks at all? But I think if you want, you know, this one is going to be for a set of 3 sock patterns. So one is her Town Wall socks, which is a mystery cal that she did. They are stunning. So beautiful. So Anna's kind of really into colour work or different designs and colour work. So there's the Town Wall socks and the Pedulia Caline socks are there. In the Town Wall socks there's 3 different sections of colour, and then so the toes, the heels and the cuffs are all colour, but the heel colour kind of swipes around the instep, and then the foot section and the leg section have this gorgeous little cable details. Really, really beautiful. And that was part of her mystery cal, and it's just gorgeous. And Anna is such an amazing sock designer, you guys. She's fantastic heel construction, and it's really good for high arches, but I don't have high arches and they fit me perfectly as well. I don't know how she does it. She's a magician. And then there's the Pedulia Caline socks, which have a little bit of colour work at the top. They are designed in the same kind of way, where the heel and the toe are different colours and part of the foot is a different colour. And then there's the colour work section at the top. I'm just looking at them over here. I'm going to put it up on screen as well. And then the top of the cuff is a little bit of colour work, and then there's like a corrugated rib cuff, which is so cute. They're adorable. And then there's the amazing Santa Lucia socks. Sancta Lucia socks. So Santa Lucia is a saint that they madly celebrate up in Scandinavia, and it's kind of, there's kind of a lot of stories about it. I'm gonna just pop into there to see. Sometimes she writes stories about the saint, and it's really interesting. I really love Anna's patterns. They're like all about mystery and stuff. Oh, here we go. So for many people in Nordic culture, Santa Lucia is an important celebration. It must be said that the Nordic version of Santa Lucia has very little in common with the Saint Lucia of Syracuse, as most know her. So she was an early Christian martyr and has been changed into a carol singing woman clad in white with candles in her hair. And it's a lot of the like kids in schools do it, you know, and it's a really nice kind of celebration, Christmassy, or not so much. Yeah, I suppose it is Christmassy because it is a Christian tradition. So it's a symbol of hope as she comes when the night is longest, carrying the promise of that light will soon return. Oh, how lovely is that? Yeah, I mean, it's like a midwinter tradition. So these socks are absolutely gorgeous. They're colour work all over apart from the cuffs, heels and toes. But it's a very simple kind of colour work pattern. It's kind of like a grid-like pattern. They're just beautiful, absolutely gorgeous. So they're really nice winter socks. So the whole pattern I'm going to give away in about 2 weeks time. So the thread is going to be open for 2 weeks. Pop on over there, say hello, tell me how you like to construct your socks. And yeah, yay, good luck. Now, another amazing friend of mine who is hosting the Beardychiels Rhodes Greek retreat, knitting retreat. I think there's still a few spaces, by the way, you guys. It's in May. Do it. So many awesome people are coming. Oh, I'm so excited. Oh, I'm so excited to meet everybody as well. It's gonna be the best. And it's gonna be like, I really want just to like chill, somebody else organizing it, because I'm gonna be shattered after working in the festival. They're always so exhausting, I know that. I'm preparing for that. I want to get everything done like at least a week before. That's not gonna happen. I'm scared. No, it's fine. Yeah, so Beardychiels, John Glenn, has released a new pattern called the Hooded Bat. And it's this amazing shawl with a hood on it. Why has nobody ever... I'm sure they thought about this, but John's one is beautiful. It's gorgeous. It's got this big chunky cowl on it, and then the shawl has kind of like bat wings. So it's like you can wrap around you and it's got these beautiful points on it. It's gorgeous. Gorgeous. So what I want you to do is pop over to my Ravelry group, and I would like you to comment in there what temperature is your coldest like winter day. I'm really interested in that because everyone's temperatures are very specific to themselves, and if they go colder, if they go hotter, they would like die. Do you know what I mean? So, you know, I know in Australia the coldest day was like maybe 5 degrees in Sydney where I was. And that felt really cold because the rest of the year was really hot. But then the coldest day here so far has been like -10. And like, I know a lot of people would have been like, oh my God. But then other people I know who live in Alaska, Jocelyn, it's like -50,000. And they're like wandering around. Like, so if it gets like to 0 degrees, like 0 degrees Celsius, it's like they're around in their fucking t-shirts and shorts, you know? So in winter, what is your kind of roundabout coldest temperature that it gets to? I'm really interested in that because I feel like the hooded bat would be extremely useful because you could wrap it around your face, you know, and have a hood. Oh, so I always do that with most of my scarves. I like wrap it around myself if I'm really cold and I have like a balaclava style. So yeah, that's interesting. Actually, yeah, I'm really interested to read those results. So go over there and do that. And I will pull the results for both of those in 2 weeks' time. But I will be having a podcast next week. Don't worry. I must remind myself of that. I must write that down. Grace, when you're editing this, write that down. Okay, awesome. Cool. Oh, I would also like to recommend a podcast that I've been watching recently. So she is Zakiya, who is the Ladywing Designs podcast. And she has been recently popping on the virtual knit nights. And she's so lovely. She's got about, I think, almost 10. She's in the early stages of her podcast, and she's just wonderful. She makes amazing. I think she made the Sorrento shawl. I think I saw it in her first podcast. I can't remember because I started watching a couple weeks ago and I have a very bad memory. But I really enjoy watching her podcast. She's extremely talented, fabulous lady. And also, I love talking to her on the weekends because she's super cool. So yeah, you should go over and watch her. Also, she's having a spring garment cal, and that's what I'm going to do my Vian sweater that I've been ignoring. That's what I'm going to do for that. Are whips allowed, Zakiya? I hope so. If not, I'll pull it out and start it again. Not. I'm not going to do that. But I'm going to say it's for the springs. The spring garment cal. Or the summer garment. Summer garment or spring garment? I wrote it down. Wait a minute. Whenever I'm... Oh yeah, Ladywing Crafts podcast is who's Zakiya, and she's doing the spring garment along 2018. So that sounds super fun. There's a couple of patterns I was looking at for that. One of them is the Tegna sweater. Tegna tee, which is a lovely t-shirt that has like little lacy bits at the bottom. I don't think that would suit me. I don't know. Lacy bits around my belly. I don't want people seeing my belly. I like lacy bits on top here because it's like interesting. But lacy bits down my belly. I have a super long torso, so I don't know. It looks really pretty on everyone else, on like little skinny women. And then also on normal women too. It looks really nice, but I don't know. In my head, it just doesn't suit me. It looks gorgeous. I love the lace design. It's just super long, and I feel like it would be better on like a person with a shorter torso, because you know it would like, you know, I could always add more. Stop talking, Grace. Okay, now, yeah. What else did I want to talk about? I've done my giveaways. I'm super happy with that. I've been meaning to do those giveaways for so long. I'm so sorry, you guys. Anna and John, I'm so sorry. But they're done now. Yay! And I've done my shout outs for Woolen and the Rose Retreat and super fun things. And I also want to say thank you so much for all of your support about the handing over the VKN and deciding like what I need to concentrate on this year. I love you all. Thank you so much. Those comments mean the world to me because I'm such a flip-floppy kind of, not flip-floppy, but just like, I want people to like me type of person, you know? I'm working on it. And this podcast is helping me work on it so much. Thank you. Thank you. Now, I'm going to go finish off my weaving. I'm so excited about that. Oh yeah, I'm going to film it and show you taking it off, so that'll be the end of the podcast. I said it was going to be in the middle. It's probably not. I'm going to be in the end. Bye! Love you guys. Bye! So I'm just about to cut off the warp from my little loop. There it is. So I'm going to leave a load on. So I literally want to leave the longest one as I can, because then I can. So I've done a, what's it called? A hem stitch just here. What do you think, Beans? What's your quality control status? You like it? Good. Excellent. Great. Okay. So so I'm just going to, and I've just hem stitched across, and then I brought the this last one through all of them, and then back through the bottom, and then out through one of the dark ones, so it wouldn't kind of look weird. I don't know if you can see that, but anyway. So that's all hem stitched. That's all secure. And now I'm just going to cut across here. Whee! That's nice. Now I think I need to do this. Oh, that's satisfying. I had a few of these cut and retied on because it was a long distance to go in between. So So I think it worked out best. Done! Now, Beans is in his favourite spot. Almost done. Now, you're going to love this, Beans. Aren't you? So, here we go. Just take off the little groove there. There we go. And that's all the fabric that I have. Lovely gingham. What do you think, Beans? Now I started off here by weaving a nice thick thread just to kind of even out the weft, because they kind of tied into 10 bundles here. So I'm just going to undo that now. And I just bonked Beans' little brain. That's okay. Yeah. So I'm just going to untie these.